Hi everyone, Paul SM. Welcome to part 3 of our Tamiya 124th Peugeot 307 WRC build. Before we get going today, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you click the little bell notifications, get notified of all our latest videos. Click the like button and leave a comment. I do read and reply to all the comments and appreciate everybody that takes the time to leave a comment on the channel. And of course, if you scroll up in the description, there's a link to a big long list of all the items I use in my videos. So if you see anything, you should be able to find it in there. So I said we'd be back pretty fast with this one. I knew I was going to continue working on it. It's been lingering around for too long. It needed finishing off, and here we are with part 3. So we're going to get it all done today. A little bit of work to do. It's a great kit, so there's not a huge amount to do when we get to this stage. But it's all important work. And we're going to go through, looking at all the important bits and showing final assembly of the kit. It's a great kit, great car, and it doesn't look bad when it's done, I don't think. So let's jump straight into polishing the bodywork. Okay, we're going to jump straight in with our body. Now, we did this over a month ago. It was one of my better 2K clear coats using the Gravity Spain stuff. I even felt I didn't really need to flat it back, so it had no micro mesh on it this time at all. And we're literally going over it now with the Ultima polish. So we're giving a nice light buff up all over, and then we'll buff it up with a clean microfiber cloth to a nice high shine. Really was that good, out the gun. No real dust or hairs or anything in there. Pretty, not totally flawless, but pretty flawless all round. That I don't think it warranted being hit with the harsher abrasives or compound and what have you. And yeah, really nice finish. This was done a month ago, so it's well and truly cured. Obviously with 2K, the longer you leave it, the better. I normally leave it 5 days, but I think 30 days is more than enough. And like I say, coating up a treat just with a light polish. No real pressure applied. Letting the polish and the clots do their work. And yeah, we've got a real nice finish, really showing a striking yellow colour. Of course, if you wished, you could always flat it. You could go back 8,000, 12,000 micro mesh, hit it with the compound, then hit it with the polish, then hit it with the wax. But like I say, for today, we're just going to hit it with the polish and then give it a shine up later on. So good looking car, the 307. I think it's a bit ugly as a road car. As a rally car, I think it's quite appealing. I quite like it. This is the third one I've built. I've built the kit one, which is the Marlboro scheme. I've built the Expert orange one as well. And now we've got the Pirelli. And I've got a couple more in the stash, a couple more schemes to do. And while it's a bit of a simple kit, like I said in part 2, it's a nice kit to build. Nice and easy. Not really a technical build. And it goes together with no real drama. It's one of Tamiya's very strange metal chassis vehicles. Not sure about what the idea is about those, but like I say, it goes together with no real issues. So there we go, we're all polished up. We'll just give it a bit of a buff up now. So what we need to get rid of now is any excess polish. So it's going to collect around detail, it's going to collect in recesses, so get the most out we can with the cloth. Also get inside the body shell, because you'll be surprised just how much can seep in underneath. So just take your time all the way around, and anything left, once it's dry, you'll see it as a white powder. You can get an old toothbrush in there, give it a good scrub out, and get rid of that residue. So now's the time to be very careful. Be careful around things like these spoilers, any external parts are sticking out, because if you snag it with a microfiber, there's a good chance you'll rip it off. Or also be careful near the edges of the paint as well, because sometimes, just sometimes, the 2K can lift. So it never happened once before. It was when you're using a rotary tool. So yeah, just be very, very careful. And there we go. All polished up. Pretty happy with that finish. Not too bad at all. So now we've got to mask out our window frames in black. We've got the Aizu tape. We've got our lovely new Ultimate Modern Products Aizu tape holder, which is absolutely fantastic. I've been waiting for this for a long time, and Lee designed us one, and now we have one in our range. So absolutely perfect for holding the Aizus. So we've got the 1mm tape here, and we're going to go around just the sides. That's the only parts we need to do on this. So some very careful tape application. Cut your tape off, the adequate length, detack it, put it on your hand, give it a bit of a light detack. Look at where you're going. Get any polish residue out. And we're going to butt straight up to that panel line. Taking our time. There you go. Just split a little bit of polish. We got our old toothbrush. Just give it a scrub around. So yeah, we're going right up to the panel line. I'm just going to apply it in the center and then work one edge to the other. Following the curve all the way around. Make sure you do de-tack it. Depending on the clear coat you're using, it'll vary in how strong it is. 2K is probably one of the strongest. If you've not got 2K clear coat on, be very careful near decals because masking tape will rip off decals. So be very, very wary of that. Now, you're not going to get this in one piece. So I like to get along the front as much as possible, then come back and work our way back along the back piece. Now, there's only the sides to do, so only each side needs doing. And the neater you are here, the neater the finished product, well, not product, the finished result will be. So just take your time. Again, as I always say, patience is the key here. Line it all up, make sure it's fully burnished down. Just have a quick look. Make sure it's pushed down on the edges. It's lined up where you want it. And it's fully burnished down over all the edges too. Worst thing you get now is a bit of bleed through, but because we've got a 2K clear coat and because we're going to use water-based paint, should you get any overspray, you can easily wipe it off, not a problem at all. I'm just curving the front round a little bit more here. Yeah, if we do get any overspray using the UMP primer that I always use on my external rubbers, you can wipe it off. It will come off without damaging the 2K. Of course, the better job we do now, the less cleanup and less hassle we've got later on. So again, length of tape off, de-tack it, line it up. Now, if you're using thicker 2Ks or thicker clear coats, you need to pay attention to panel lines and any areas like these window rubbers, because if it's too thick, you will lose the demarcation line to follow, and it can look a bit odd. Luckily, the Gravity 2K is nice and thin. So we've gone around all those windows that side. Now we've got some Tamiya 6mm tape. We're going to put this straight to the 1mm AZU. Just off camera, we're just going to de-tack it a little bit. And I'm going to say we're going to go right up to the edge of the 1mm. And this will give us our masking point for masking off the rest of the body in a bit. So again, make sure you de-tack it. Make sure it's right up. There's no bare points. And make sure it's burnished right down. And again, we go all around the car body, covering those windows. So there we go. There's one side totally done. And the other side totally done as well. So we need to spray the centers of those black. So we need to mask off all the outer areas. My favourite technique is to use cling film, or I think it's saran wrap if you're in the US. So we cut length off, we cut it into sections. A little bit of the 10mm masking tape. Now again, if you're applying this over an unclear coated car, be very careful because the cling film can take decals off with it. Clear coated 2K especially, you're pretty safe. So we just run it to the 6mm, wrap it around the bottom, stick it together, and jobs are good. And repeat that around the other areas. So just get yourself a piece of the cling film, another piece of 10mm tape, make sure you get it lined up properly on the edge. Once you're happy, again, offer it up to the side and then go around the whole car, making sure everywhere is covered. Now, one other tip I would recommend is to do in the windows and any vents, because you might get a little bit of overspray through the body when you spray through. So yeah, if you're spraying through, maybe a bit of tape across the windows to stop it blowing through under the cling film. Last piece. And there we go, we're all done. So we've only used a minimal amount of masking tape. we've filled the rest in with cling film. So it's quicker, faster, and it's safer on the clear coat. The less tape you put down, the better. And there we go, we're all fully cleared, covered, and ready to go. Just making sure all the edges are down on the tape. One last look around to make sure we're all covered. And yeah, we look good. So we can pop that in the spray booth and spray our window rubbers in Ultimate Black Primer. We're also going to mask off our inner windows using the mask supplied in the kit. So with some careful application, again, as I said before, these either go on first time or they take several applications. The front was an absolute nightmare. The back one went on pretty much straight away, apart from that little crease. If you do get a crease and you can't get rid of it, just put it down and then burnish it with a cotton bud. Just make sure all those edges are down. Of course, don't press too hard, or you stand a good chance of breaking the plastic. And there we go. So again, pop to the spray booth. We'll give these a couple of coats of the black UMP primer. Let them dry, and we're good to go. So there's the window all masked up. As you see, we used some Tamiya tape on the side. We're back from the spray booth. I didn't show spraying them. You've seen me do it before, so there's no point in showing it. We've now got some glue and glaze from Deluxe Materials, and we're going to pop our window wiper on. So just a little dab in its hole. Pop it in. I'm using glue and glaze more and more than CA glue on exterior parts, because if something comes off and it's got a dab of CA glue on it, it'll leave a streak and it ruins literally everything it touches, leaves a mark. At least the glue and glaze, you can almost just wipe it off with a moist cotton bud. That is then left to one side to dry, and we'll pick it back up later. So we've got a couple of points in the car we need to CA glue in place. These are the screw points when we put the body on. So this is the rear one. Just a couple of dabs of CA glue here and there. Pop it down and leave it be. And then the front one, we've got some vent grills to make out of the plastic mesh in the kit. So we're cutting out the templates to come in the instructions. Some nice careful scissor work. We'll then offer this up to the mesh itself and cut around them to give us our exact shape. Probably the easiest way of doing this, to be honest. There you go, some nice careful cutting. Makes the job nice and easy and pretty quick. And then we can pop these in place where they need to be. A couple of little dabs of CA glue. And then a couple of dabs all around for the other screw point to go on. So that is the back of the grills and also the other mounting point for the body. So we've got some Deluxe Materials Rocket Yellow. Just adding a few dabs here and there. There we go. Now we've got our other point. Make sure we're orientated the right way. Refer to your instructions. Pop it in place. There are mounting points in there. Pop it in. Let it dry. Put it to one side for a bit. Or if you've got some kicker, hit it with some CA kicker on a micro brush. Now there's a chrome front grille on this. There's two ways of doing this. You can either paint it and carefully remove the paint later on, or my method is to fill it with a panel line wash from Tamiya. Let it dry. Most of the time it will leave the chrome perfectly showing, or a quick wipe over at the end with a cloth or cotton bud, and you're all good to go. So we put some wash in that. We'll put that to one side to dry. We've got our chrome rear light lenses. This is where this kit comes into its own now. It's really easy to assemble at this point. Cars at this point can be quite laborious and take quite a long time to assemble. There's lots of exterior parts. This kit is really well thought out how it goes together. So there's our chrome rear lighting. We've got one of our towing eyes in the back and the front. So they're pushed through. They were sprayed red in part 2. A little bit of seagull on the back and a bit of kicker. Same with this front grille surround. A couple of dabs of seagull either side on the locator points. And again, we hit it with some kicker. Micro brushes are ideal for this job. And then we've got our light lenses. So the light lenses go from the inside. Clear part in first. then the chrome piece on top. They locate in there pretty solid. There's no actual points, but they sit where they need to, pretty flush. Once we're happy, quick double check. We'll grab some rocket yellow again. A couple of careful dabs in some key areas. A little bit off camera, do apologise. There we go, hit it with some kicker again. There we go. And again. And again, let that dry. Repeat on the other side. And there we go. We're all done. A couple of dabs on the locator points for the front splitter. So that just sits in place. And again, once we've got it perfectly in place, we'll grab some kicker. Touch it. Away you go. Like I say, these micro brushes are ideal. There is a link in the description of this video to all the products I use. They are in there. And absolutely fantastic tools for applying the kicker. So we've got our glass in. It's resting in its locator points. There's two little sprue points inside it holds. So we're going to apply some CA glue carefully to any areas well away from anywhere exterior. So 6 points in total, 2 at the back, 2 at the front of the windscreen, and 2 at the bottom. Oh, hello. Having a good look. Once we're happy we've got it in place, we grab a clean micro brush. A little bit of kicker, just touch it, let the capillary reaction flow it through. Real care is needed here that you don't get it everywhere. You get it on the glass, you're pretty much, yeah, you're living with it because it's very hard to get off without a lot of work. We've got our glasses cleaning cloth, which actually came with a watch, which is quite funny. But it's very, very good at cleaning glasses and even better for cleaning the plastic clear parts on these car kits too. So obviously because we've just CA'd it in place, make sure you stay away from anywhere you've even remotely put CA glue. Because I've done this before and streaked CA glue all over the windows. So just take your time, keep it away. If you can't wait, leave it a little bit. But literally I was just coming to the end of this build, couldn't wait any longer. And thought, right, I'm just going to go for it. And there we go, very handy tool. Glasses cleaning lens cloth. Cleans the Tamiya plastic glass up really well. So in assembly of part 2, I put the exhaust on upside down. I realised when I tried to put the body on. So we quickly unscrewed the interior, flipped the exhaust around, screwed it back in place, and then screwed the interior back in place as well. The beauty of these being screwed, and otherwise it'd be glued in place and you'd have a bit of a nightmare getting it off. But there we go, there's that, and then we've got our exhaust piece. I think it's an exhaust piece anyway, it's something. As you can see, underneath is very plain. Rear light lenses, already pre-coloured in red. These literally click in place, they fit absolutely beautiful. So get them in top and bottom, and then just a gentle push. There we go, click. They're in place. Now, this is the time to be really careful. If you are handling glues or anything abrasive or whatever, be very careful of the bodywork. It's so easy to get glue on them now. I've done it many, many times. So if you're in doubt, wipe your fingers every time you touch the model. Wipe them together, wipe them on a t-shirt, or cloth, whatever. Door handles. Now, another lesson I've learned, use CA glue as little as you can on exterior parts because they have a habit of falling off as you put them on and then streaking CA glue right down the side of the car. So again, I used the glue and glaze. A little tip, if you leave it out for 5-10 minutes, it starts to thicken up and get really stringy and sticky. And it's ideal for this job because it really grabs the parts when you put them on. It has enough pressure to hold the parts on, but if you really vigorously polish it or, pull on it, it will come back off. Which again has its advantages should you need to redo anything, make a mistake, or just want to remove it for any other reason. So we've got some decals to go on the front. we've got some antenna to go on the roof, so we're just giving everything a quick polish up to remove any fingerprints. See, the drill pin vise is out. We've drilled the roof for our antennas as well, and we've got our camera here too. We put the scoop on in the center, again using glue and glaze. A couple of dabs in the hole as we're doing here. Grab the part. I like to use tweezers on small parts like this. I find it a little bit easier to get them exactly positioned. Once you're happy, give it a little push home, and that's it, job done. Then we've got one of our metal transfers. There's one for the back, a Peugeot logo, and 2 mirrors. And again, iron it up, we get it perfectly centered, push it home, job done. And then the mirrors, 2 of. Nice metal transfers for the center. They're a little bit tricky to get in, so take your time. But they're a lot better than painting them. They look a lot better. So a pointy cotton bud just to make sure they're fully home. Same with the other one. Have a quick look around, make sure we're orientated the right way, which we are, and there we go, there's both mirrors in place. Antennas, there are 4 on the roof, 1 large, 2 medium, 1 small. Now I decided to keep the thicker kit ones on the back because they look more to scale as to what they look like. But I decided to use a Hobby Design metal one for the center, so we'll pop that in place too. Again, you've seen me using them before. Now, we needed some black on these window edges, so we just got our edding marker. We'll just run it down the side. I'll be honest, I completely forgot to mask them and paint them. But this does just a good job. Nice careful application. No problems at all. A few decals to go on, so we've got a logo to go on the intercooler. So get that carefully in place. Now these are Tamiya decals, they're not the Renaissance ones we used on the car. So take your time because they can be a touch brittle. We've got some Ultimate Strong decal solution. We've got one of our water pens as well. And once we're happy it's in place, we'll just give it a wipe over with the decal solution and let it settle by its own time. Big Pirelli sun strip on this thing. So again, some careful application, get it where you want it, slide it over one side, push it into the A-pillar, then slide it back over, and you'll get it centered absolutely perfectly. So we use our brush to get it under the pillar, and slide it across, do the side, slide it back, and jobs are good. There we go. Cotton bud to remove any excess water from underneath. Now you are going to get the adhesive come out from under this decal, and it does mark the clear part, so just keep going, mop it up as much as you can as you go. At the end, give it a very gentle buff over with a cloth, be very careful not to catch the decal. Just a rear decal to go, a couple of side ones, and we're all done. Numbers for the side window and the driver's name. Repeat this on the other window as well. Again, same process, get them on, remove any excess water. And then we've got a couple of decals on the passenger and driver window as well. Fairly simple, fairly straightforward. Just make sure to get that adhesive off, don't let it dry. If you need to use a moistened cotton bud to carefully go around the decal, but just get as much off as you possibly can, as it can look a little bit unsightly. Now bonnet pins, I've used aftermarket ones on these before, and in the last one I did, I used these. And the decals, there's a little point sticking up on the bonnet. Once the decal is set in place, it actually looks really good. It does give the good effect of being a raised bonnet pin. So we went for it on this. We're pretty much out the box by the decals with this build. And people have been telling me I've got the wrong wheels, and they're right, I have. Problem is, as you know from part 2, these have got female fitment wheels. There's not many that fit this like that. I wasn't faffing around with all the wheels to get them to fit, and it doesn't really bother me all that much. Speaking of wheels, in the last video I forgot to paint the road nuts, so we got some Tamiya LP61, I think it is. I'm just using a cocktail stick to get all our road wheel nuts in place. And this is our final step. There we go. We are all done. Happy with the result. We've got some excess polish to remove out of there. And looking at the build afterwards, the tyre decals, the kit ones, I didn't realise I had some aftermarket in the decal set. So I'm going to take them off one day and get rid of them and put the proper decals on, because they do sit better and they do look a lot better as well. But overall, happy with the build. It turned out well. I think it's a pretty rally car. It's a bit of a mad one. I'm very, very happy with how it looks. It's good colour, nice scheme, and a great kit to build as well. So we've got some final pictures of it. As we saw from the videos, this was primed in Tamiya Grey Primer, decanted and sprayed. We then sprayed it in TS14. We've got some Renaissance decals, Tamiya panel line wash, Gravity Spain 2K clear coat. We used Tamiya LPs and AK Interactive all over it, and TS26 on the wheels. There we go, that's it, we're all done. Happy with that result. Like I said, I've been told I got the wrong wheels, and I don't really care, if I'm honest. There's a couple of reasons why they're not there. One, they'd be a nightmare because of the fitment of those particular wheels. And two, because I don't really care. I build for me, my enjoyment, nothing else. So it's one of those. It's something people have to deal with. But it's a great kit. They go together really well. That's the third one I've built. I've got 2 more in the stash somewhere in here. I've got a couple more schemes as well. And I've enjoyed building every one of them. The kit goes together really well. Like I said, it's a bit simplified in areas, but in others it makes up for that with sheer quality of the kit. So very, very happy with that. Hopefully, yeah, we'll build another one pretty soon, I think. I've got another couple of schemes. I've got a red and silver 307, I think it's a works car, and another one which is the Yakko scheme it is. So we'll have another one at some point, but this kit's getting hard to find now. So yeah, it really is a shame to not be able to get them anymore. But it is what it is. So, next video build, don't know yet. Still mulling that one over, but we'll get back to over that one. I've got a couple of builds I want to do for myself. I'm going to do another Escort Cosworth in a dual violet colour. Quite fancy do another RS500 again as well, because I sold my last Escort and Sierra built models. So kind of want those back in my collection again. So maybe those. If not, I'll pick something, I don't know, off the wall. We'll see. Stay tuned. Let's see what comes up. You never know. So there we go. If you follow the build and like what you've seen, let me know in the comments below. I do reply to everybody and appreciate everyone's support, all the nice comments, and I read and reply to everyone. Make sure you sub to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and click the bell notification as well, so you get notified of all our latest videos. There'll be a bench update in a couple of days to talk about just everything in general. And as always, check out International Scale Model Facebook page and forum, umpretail.com, where you can get a lot of the things I use in these videos. There's a link in the description down below. It takes you to a big product list of everything I use, so you should be able to find it in there. Check out the Live the Bench page on the Off Air Hangout group for the live and Off Air Hangouts, and check out my Paul ISM modelling page where all my private modelling work, well, private, personal modelling work is shared. And like I say, leave a comment down below, let me know what you think. Any questions you've got, pop them down below. Thanks for watching today. I'll catch you all next time. Take care. Bye bye.